Welcome, 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 welcome. I am so excited to have all of you guys here today. A really, really, really big welcome to all of you. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of value from this training, and I'm really proud of you, number one, for keeping true to yourself, for registering and actually coming in on time and attending, right? So that's the first step. You have to turn up for anything to happen in life. For you to succeed, for you to achieve, number one, you need to turn up, right? So first of all, congratulations, you are here. You've taken the biggest step, which is arriving here. Just before we get started, first thing, I need you guys to find the chat box here on the right hand side. You should see it. And in the chat box, I need you to let me know if you can hear me, first of all, so that I know that I'm not talking to myself, but I'm talking to you, beautiful people. And then feel free to say hi, tell me where you're from. And, as we're going along through the webinar, feel free to put questions in there or just contribute, any ideas that, comes into your mind. Feel free to contribute to the chat box so we have the whole vibe going on. Number two is you need to get a pen and paper. You need to get a pen and paper, and even better than paper, get a notebook, some sort of a bound volume, right? Because today, this is going to be serious stuff. This is not going to be one of those, where you play and you do your ironing at the same time. Today, you need to participate. If you really want to get value from this training today, I need you to participate 100%. So you need a pen and paper. You need to be writing down these questions that I'm going to be giving you, and you need to be writing down the answers. What we're going to do today, by the end of this webinar, you're going to have a plan for this year, for your business, for other areas in your life that you want to achieve your goals, etc. So you need to be participating, right? You need to be listening. You need to be writing down. You need to be answering the questions. Also, I need you to shut off all the distractions. So turn off your phone, turn off all the other windows a part of this. So turn your Facebook off, turn your email off, turn everything off that could distract you, right? So that's really, really, really important so that you can focus 100%, right? Okay, and then if you do stay to the very end, right? If you really commit and you invest into yourself all of this time, and if you stay all the way to the end, you're also gonna get a special offer from me. But you have to stay to the very end to find out about it, and I know that those of you who are committed enough to grow yourself, you will stay to the very end, and you will go through the whole of this process, and you will set goals for the whole year. So just to confirm, guys, if you can put in a chat box that you can hear me okay. If you can hear, if the sound is loud and clear, if you can see me, just go ahead and type in a chat box so that I know before we get started with our content today. So guys, I hope you've been having a fantastic start of the year. I hope you finished your 2016 on a high note, strongly, and now you're starting off in 2017 nice and strong, achieving, etc. Okay, fantastic. I can see that people are saying all okay. I can see and hear. Fantastic, fantastic. So I know that you guys are with me. If you lose me at any time, then, do shout, give me a text or something, etc. Okay, good. So, mom and dad, I like that. I like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see my slides. And then we'll go into the content for today. So go ahead, entire screen, share, perfect, awesome. Okay, guys, so let me just close this thing. Okay. All right, so today we're going to talk about designing your best year ever. Designing your best year ever. How does that sound? How would it be for you if 2017 was the breaking point? If it was the year that 5 years from now or 10 years from now, you'd go, that was the year that everything changed for me. That was the game changer. That was the year where I just took it to the next level. How would it be for you? I hope that you are ready for that year, because many people, unfortunately, they live in this loop. I always say that some people, they don't have 10 years experience. They have 1 year's experience repeated 10 times, because every year they keep doing the same thing. And if you hear the statistics, it says that about 3% of the population set goals, and only about 1% write their goals down. The rest of the world, they just expecting to win a lottery one day. They just expect things to happen by itself. But as you and me know, that it's not going to happen. Success doesn't happen by chance. Success only happens on purpose. And maybe that's why 97% of population actually work for the other 3% of the population that actually do set goals and do make a plan. I love how Jim Rohn used to say, if you don't set the goals and plan your own life, then somebody else will plan your life for you. And guess what do they have in store for you? Not much. So guys, I want to encourage you to set your goals today and to really, really take your life to the next level. But you might ask, who is this guy? So my name is Gediminas. If you haven't heard about me before, I'm a psychologist by specialty. I'm a business trainer, building my own business from home. I have about 1,700 people in my team right now. I've been in business for a few years now, so I really, really like sharing with people tips for business and for personal development. And I'm also a personal breakthrough coach. I'm a neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy practitioner, and I coach people for personal breakthrough as well. Okay, so what are the characteristics of peak performing women and men? Well, there's three main things that you can notice with peak performing individuals. One, it's a high feeling of self-worth, self-liking, and self-acceptance. If you want to achieve in life, if you want to succeed in life, you have to accept yourself. You have to like yourself. You have to see that you are worthy of everything that you want to achieve. Because if you don't see that you are worthy of that success, then there is no way you're going to achieve it, because you will sabotage yourself somewhere along the way, because in your head you think that you are not worth that result, or not worth the happiness, or not worth the money. So number one, you have to accept and tell yourself that you are worthy. I am worthy. Say that right now. I am worthy. Okay. Number two, high-performing individuals, they have total responsibility for their life and consequences of all of their actions. So these are not people who go and blame the government, or go and blame the schools or parents or everybody else. These people take responsibility. These are the people who say, if it's to be, it's up to me. Right? And these are the people who go out and get it. They don't complain, they don't whinge, they just get on with it and go and get the success. And these two things, high feeling of self-worth and total responsibility, go hand in hand to form the foundation for peak performance. And three, it's mental programming. Peak performance men and women always keep their eye on the ball. They always keep their thoughts and their words and their mental pictures consistent with the direction they want to go and the people they want to be, because they know that they can become what they think about. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do mental programming in the shape of goals, because when you set your goals, you actually think about what you want. You see, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they keep thinking about things they don't want. They think about the things they don't want. And by doing that, they just keep attracting more and more of the stuff that they don't like or they don't want in their life. So you have to do a self-assessment. First question, you need to answer this. So you need to write this down and answer it as well. So number one question for you guys today, does criticism prevent you from setting goals? So does criticism prevent me from setting goals? And answer this to yourself. Number two, what would I do if I won £1 million in the lottery tomorrow? What would I do if I won £1 million in the lottery tomorrow? Write that question and answer it. Write down all the things you would do. What would you do if you won the £1 million or $1 million or wherever you are, whatever the currency you're using there? What would you do? How would your day go tomorrow if you had that money? Write all of those things. You can go just 1, 2, 3, 4, and make a list of all the things you would do. Okay, and make a star there, which means come back later. So whenever I move on to the next question, but you still have more stuff that you'd like to put down, just make a star on the side so you know you need to come back later and add to that. So you can leave some space on the page and we move on. Number 3, what have I done in my life that gave me satisfaction and a feeling of importance? Have a think of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 things that you have done in your life that gave you the feeling of satisfaction and feeling of importance. What were those things? Maybe it was finishing university, maybe starting your own business, maybe starting a family, maybe having children, whatever it is. Anything in your life that gave you satisfaction and feeling of importance. Okay. Number 4, what would I attempt if I were guaranteed success? What would I attempt if I were guaranteed success? Go ahead and jot a few things down. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Shooting? So what would you attempt if you were guaranteed success? Right, make a star there to come back later. Number 5, does fear of failure prevent me from taking risks? Does fear of failure prevent me from taking risks? And it might be a risk of talking to strangers. It might be a risk of starting my own business. It might be different types of risks. It's not just physical risk or financial risk. So that's either yes, no, maybe. What do you think? Put it down. Okay, and the last, number 6 in the self-assessment, what is my area of excellence in which my greatest interests and abilities lie? What is my area of excellence in which my greatest interests and abilities lie? Go ahead and put down, what is your area of excellence? What are you really, really good at? What do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? You know those things when you do them and time just flies and you go, oh my gosh, a few hours just gone by or a whole day just gone by. Those are the things you really, really love doing because you don't even notice when the time goes. So what are those things? Jot them down. Okay. So this is the self-assessment before we start the goal setting. And hopefully that already has given you some ideas. That's already sort of started something moving inside of you. You started already the process. But you see, goal setting is perhaps the most important and vital skill of all peak performance, all high achievement, and all self-motivation. If any individual, even a person who hasn't achieved a high level before, becomes a goal setter and writes, thinks, and talks about his goals on an ongoing basis, his or her levels of performance and achievement will improve dramatically almost immediately. When we set goals, we develop direction, we develop focused and channeled energy, and we accomplish more in a short time than we could accomplish in years. But like I said earlier on, about 3% of people only set goals, and only about 1% actually sit down and write their goals. They keep hearing how goals are great, but they never find time for themselves and for their life to sit down and write them down. Now, most of the goals can be broken down into three main categories. The first category is family and personal goals. The second category is business and career goals. And third category is self-improvement goals. So when you're thinking about your goals, you might want to think of all of those three categories, right? We have to set goals that are in harmony with each other, and also we have to set goals that are in harmony with our values. Okay, so what we're going to do now, again, I'm going to give you a couple of different questions to set the foundation for your goal setting. So number one, what are the 5 things you value the most in your life? What 5 things would you pay the most for, sacrifice for, or fight for? So go ahead and put down 5 things that you value the most in life. Okay. Have you got your 5? Awesome. Second, in 30 seconds or less, write down the most important goals in your life right now. So just quickly, let your subconscious throw it at you. Without thinking too much, just go ahead and put down the most important goals in your life. Great. Number 3, if you had all the time in the world and all the money, how would you spend it? what would be the very first thing you would do? What would be the second? What would you change in your life? So if you had all the time and all the money in the world, how would you spend it? How would you invest it? Go ahead and make a list. What would be the first thing you do? What would be the second thing? What would be the third thing? Have you got 5 already? Maybe more? Okay. Make a star there to come back and do more later. Okay. Number 4. How would you spend your time if you've learned that you only had 6 months to live? How would you spend your time if you learned you only had 6 months to live? How would you spend your time if you learned you only had 6 months to live? What would you do differently? Okay. Number 5, what have you always wanted to do in your life but you've been afraid of or held back? Is there anything you always wanted to do in your life but you've been either afraid of or felt you were held back? Go ahead and jot them down. Guys, can you hear me? Are you good, guys? I just can see some comments that people can't hear. Yes, okay, good, good, good. Awesome. What type of activities, doing what sort of thing gives you your greatest feeling of importance, well-being, and self-esteem? So looking back at all the things you have done in your life, what type of activities, doing what sort of thing gives you your greatest feeling of importance, well-being, and self-esteem? So looking back at all the things you've done in your life, what type of activities, doing what sort of thing gave you your greatest feeling of importance, well-being, and self-esteem? Okay, number 7. Imagine you received one wish from a genie or a magic pill. If you took this pill, you can achieve any one thing in this world, any goal or ambition, big or small. The question is, what great thing would you dare to dream if you couldn't fail? So if you got one wish from a genie or a magic pill, and you knew that if you took it, you could do anything, any goal, any ambition, big or small, what would you dare to dream? What would you dare to do? How are we doing, guys? Are you still with me? Loud and clear. Some people seem to lost connection. You missed the number 6. Okay, let me come back to number 6. All right. So number 6 was looking back to all the things you have done in your life, what type of activities, doing what sort of thing gives you your greatest feeling of importance, well-being, and self-esteem. So in looking back to all the things you have done in your life, what type of activities, doing what sort of thing gives you your greatest feeling of importance, well-being, and self-esteem. Okay. So remember, if you write it down, you can achieve it. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. The question is, how badly do you want it? And are you prepared to pay the price to get it? The only limitation is in your own mind. You see, whatever you can conceive of, whatever you can think of, you can achieve it. So before we start writing your major goal, you need to know 6 keys to goal setting. First key to goal setting, you need to think, are my goals realistic but challenging? Are my goals realistic but challenging? Number 2, have I written my goals in clear, precise detail? So in a minute, we're going to go ahead and write down your main goal, but you need to think, are you writing it in a clear manner? Number 3, have I set a deadline for attaining my major goal? So have I set a deadline for attaining my major goal? It has to have a deadline. When exactly is it going to happen? Number 4, do I believe absolutely that I have the ability to accomplish my goals? So do you believe absolutely that you can accomplish that goal? Number 5, do I use my time effectively? So are you using your time effectively to achieve your goals? And finally, do I concentrate on one task at a time until it's finished? Do I concentrate on one task at a time until it's finished? So those 6 things you have to take into account when you setting out your goal, when you're writing out your goal. You see, what you will need to do is you will need to select one major purpose in life. So you will need to select one major goal now, the one that we're going to write out and work on it. All great success starts with selecting one major definite purpose. If we try to accomplish many things simultaneously, we find that we diffuse and disperse our efforts and end up accomplishing almost nothing. Achieve one critical goal, then it becomes relatively simple for you to set and achieve a second goal, a third one, a fourth one, and so on. So instead of trying to tackle a lot of big goals in one go, what we're going to try and do is attack one goal at a time. And this way you can then accomplish them faster and have a sense of accomplishment instead of having 20 goals but none of them completed. Okay, so I'm going to take you through 12 steps to set your one major goal. But just before we do that, let me bring back the chat to see how we're doing, because I think we've lost quite a few people. Okay, guys, so can you still hear me? Some people saying yes, some people saying no. I think few of you are still on, but few of you, we've lost a couple of people, I think. But we'll carry on to finish the webinar, and then hopefully we'll manage to do it successfully. Okay, so step 1 in setting your goal is desire. Your first step in all good goal setting is desire. Desire is great motivator, the great force that impels us toward our goal. Desire is a personal goal. It's the starting point. Desire is your greatest motivator. So in one sentence, think now of your main goal. What is your main goal that you have, that you want to achieve this year? And write down how much do you desire that goal to happen. Just in a couple of words, write down how much do you want it to happen? How much do you want to accomplish it? Because if you don't want it, there's no chance you're going to achieve it. So how much do you want it? Okay. Number 2 is belief. The second step is belief. You must absolutely believe without a doubt that you have the ability to achieve the goal. So make your goals challenging but realistic and believable. So go ahead again and ask yourself and write it down, how much do you believe that you will achieve it? Deep down inside of you, are you doubting yourself, or do you believe 100% without a shadow of a doubt that you will achieve this goal in 2017? And again, just write a few words, maybe a sentence, about how much you believe that you will achieve it. Okay. Step number 3 is to actually write down the goal. But you have to take 3 things into consideration. 1, you have to start with I. That's the only way to program your mind. You cannot write the goal in any other way. You have to write I earn, I achieve, I succeed, or whatever. 2, the goal has to be in a present tense. So you don't write I will earn or I want to earn. You write I earn that much money, or I weigh so much, or I have, etc. So you write it in a present tense as if the goal has already happened. And 3, it has to be positive. So what I mean by that, instead of writing that I don't do this thing, you write I do this thing. So you don't put a negative in your goal. You write the goal in a positive sense. I do, I earn, I am, right? So go ahead and spend the next few minutes to write down your goal in detail. So what exactly do you want to achieve? And go ahead and spend a few minutes writing down your goal in detail. So go ahead and write it out. What do you want to achieve in 2017? What is your main goal? Okay. Make a star if you have more things to write, and we'll move on to the step 4. Step 4 is gain. What will you gain from accomplishing this goal? So write out a list of things that will happen, or things that you will get, or how would you benefit from achieving this goal. So when you're going to achieve this goal, what you will gain from that, what you will get from that, what benefits you will get from that. The more reasons you can think of, the bigger the chance that you will achieve this goal. So what will you get from achieving this goal? What will it give you? What you will get from achieving this goal. Make a star on a side, and you can continue later and add as many things as you can to what you're going to get when you achieve this goal. Step number 5 is current status. So compared to where you want to be, and to compare to achieve that goal, where are you right now? So very quickly, in few sentences, write down where are you right now compared to where you want to be when you're going to achieve this goal. Okay. Number 6 is the deadline. You have to set a deadline. Deadline is when you're going to accomplish your goal. So write down the exact date when your goal will be accomplished. When you have completed your goal, write down the exact date and even time, if you can, when your goal is completed. Okay. Step number 7 is obstacles. Write down a list of obstacles that you will have to overcome to achieve your goal. You will find that the obstacles that loom large in your mind when you are thinking of them become very small when you write them down on paper. But identify all the things that could stop you, all the things that could prevent you from achieving success, all the things that could stop you from achieving your goal. What could happen that could stop you in your track? What happened in the past that stopped you from achieving your goals? Write all of those things down. What could stop you? What problems could arise? What challenges could come? What difficulties you might come that could stop you from achieving this goal? Okay, make a star on a side to continue. Later on, you can think of more things because the more you identify the things that can stop you, the more you can prepare for them. The worst thing you can do is close your eyes and don't even think about all the bad things. Because then when they happen, they will definitely going to get you off track. But if you think in advance of all the things that could stop you, you can prepare for them. And then when they happen, you won't be so surprised. Okay, step number 8 is knowledge. What knowledge you will need to gain in order to achieve your goal. So what will you have to learn, or what knowledge you will have to gain in order to achieve your goal, in order to succeed? You need to clearly identify what knowledge you will require in order to accomplish your goal. It is important that you determine what are you going to learn in order to achieve your goal. Have a think. What will you need to learn? What you don't know right now, that perhaps you need to know to achieve your goal? What else do you need to learn? What skills do you need to get in order to achieve your goal? Okay, make a star to continue later, and we move on to step 9. Step 9 is to identify the people, groups, and organizations whose cooperation and assistance you will need to attain your goal. So, whose help you will need? Who are the people whose help you will need to achieve your goal? And concentrate also on what you can give, how you can serve, and how you can contribute. How can you compensate and reward others in return for what you want? So, if these people are going to be helping you to achieve your goal, what can you do to reward them, to compensate them for the help? So, number one, think, whose help will I need to achieve this goal? And number two, think, how can I compensate? How can I reward them? What can I do for them to get their help? So, who are the people, the groups, and the organizations whose help you will need to achieve your goal? Again, make a start to continue later and to think of more people whose help you'll need. And then step 10 is a plan. Take all the details you've identified in the last 3 steps and make a plan. Make it complete in every detail with all the activities you're going to have to engage in to accomplish your goal. Continually rewrite and rewrite your plans regularly. So think about the last 3 steps. You've identified what sort of challenges you might come across. You've identified what you will need to learn, what knowledge you need to gain. And finally, you identified who are the people whose help you will need to achieve your goal. So, number 10 is a plan where you put all of that information together now and you make a plan. How will you overcome those obstacles? How will you gain that knowledge? Where will you get it? Will you read books? Will you attend trainings? Will you watch videos on YouTube? And how are you going to get the help of those people you need? How are you going to approach those people? What sort of deal you going to make with them? How are you going to reward them for helping you to achieve your goal? Spend the next few minutes to make out a plan. Look back at the challenges you wrote, look back at the knowledge you wrote, and look back at the people you wrote, and have a think. How will you do it? Okay, so how you will overcome those challenges? How will you get that knowledge that you require? How are you going to get those people to help you? Have you started that plan? Have you thought of those ideas before? Okay, make a start to continue later, because this is one of the most important steps. Step 10 is one of the most important steps. So you'll need to spend some time making this plan as detailed as possible, because the more you can anticipate how you're going to overcome the challenges, how you're going to gain the required knowledge, and how you're going to get the help of the people, the bigger the chances that you're going to achieve your goal. So it's important that you come back to the step 10. Okay, step 11 is visualization. So put your pen down for a moment, close your eyes, and visualize. Get a clear mental image of your goal as already attained. Every time you get a chance, play this picture of your goal already achieved on the screen of your mind. Visualization of your goal as if it's already achieved is one of the most important single steps. We will achieve our goals to the exact degree to which we are capable of seeing it in our mind. So spend the next few minutes to visualize. See what you would see when it's already done. Hear what you would hear. And feel all the feelings you would feel if that goal was already achieved, if that goal was already accomplished. Okay. And the last, step 12, is resolve. Back your plan up with determination, persistence, and resolve to never, never, never give up. Your persistence is the direct measure of how much you believe in yourself and in your ability to succeed. So you have to commit to yourself to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal, to go all the way. Are you prepared to do that? Type in a chat box if you are. Type yes. Good, good, good. I'm seeing some yeses there. Good, 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 good. Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. So now that you made a decision to achieve your goal, you have two options. First option, you will go solo. So you will commit and you will do whatever it takes by yourself to achieve this goal. So you will get the required knowledge, you will acquire the help of other people, you will overcome the challenges, and you will go and succeed. However, if you're one of those people who need some help, maybe you have tried to achieve goals but you failed in the past, you then need to go and get yourself some help. Get yourself a coach. Get somebody who can help you. You need somebody's help. And if you are considering coaching, you can consider the personal breakthrough coaching, a 12 Okay, guys. So for the next few minutes, we'll go on a Q&A. So if you have any questions go ahead and feel free to type any questions in the chat box, and we will try and answer all of those questions. Yes, Q&A. Awesome, guys. So how did you find this webinar? Was it useful? I know we had a lot of interruptions, and hopefully the recording will be there and it will be not messed up as was the live version. But did you get value from that? Did you pick up something? Yes, yes. Hopefully there will be a replay because I was recording all of this thing. So hopefully we're going to get that into your email. Okay, so Julianita is saying, I'm scared of not achieving the goal, so I don't know if I can set it. But the only way to know if you're going to achieve it or not is by setting it, Julianita. So when you do it, then you'll see whether it's going to work out for you or not. If you don't try, then you're definitely not gonna achieve. So if you're not in a race, then you're definitely not going to win it. Okay, so some people saying that they lost after the going solo. So after going solo is if you need coaching. So some of you might need some help. You might feel that you can't do it all by yourself. So then you might want to get coaching. So if you want to get coaching, there's a special offer for you at titaniumsuccess.co.uk/special. That's titaniumsuccess.co.uk/special. That's where you can find out more about coaching. If you don't think you can do it by yourself, then you might need some coaching. You might need some help. Is the plan something that you revise and revised? Yes, that's correct. Because your plan will change as you will think of more, okay, what if this happens? What if this obstacle comes across? Or you will think of more things you need to learn. Or you might find that there's other things that other people's help you might need. So you will keep revising your plan and you will be adjusting it to where you want it to go in order to achieve your goal. Yes, definitely. So it's a perfect goal, to set it as a goal that I want to, it's just you won't say, I want to be more confident. You'll say, I am more confident and I stand up and talk at meetings. So that would be your goal, and you need to set a deadline. By when do you want to achieve it? And then think, okay, so what stopped me in the past from achieving that? What stopped me apart of fear? What else stops me? I need to become a confident public speaker, to overcome that fear. And number 3, whose help I need. Who are the people who could help me with public speaking? Who are people who could help me to overcome the fear of failure or fear of rejection? Alicia is asking, how important is visualization in maintaining your momentum? I personally think it's very important. One of the things you might want to do is what they call priming, where every morning you prime your mind for achieving your goal. So you spend a couple of minutes every morning visualizing your goal as if it's already happened, right? So think of the last moment. What will happen when you know that's it, I've achieved this goal? And then make a picture of that and watching that picture, if you like, keep visualizing that picture every morning, because this way you're basically priming your mind every single day, saying, hey, go get it, hey, go get it, go and find the ways of achieving this goal. So I think it's really, really important. Patrick is saying, I want this business to work, and I think fear of rejection, i.e. I'm not a salesman, is it a matter of just doing and becoming a customized to learn from mistakes, make it work? Absolutely. At the end of the day, you don't need to be a salesman. A lot of this business is actually more about building a team than actually selling products, etc. Right? But it's important to have that practice. It is important to have that trial and error. What you must learn that failure is not the end of it. The only time when it's game over is when you end the game. Dead. So if you're alive, it's not game over. You can always pick it up and try again. You can always pick it up and try again. It is only game over when you say it's game over. When you decide, that's it, I give up, this is end of story, right? Otherwise, it's not failure, it's lessons. So if you do something and it doesn't work, you go, okay, it doesn't work like that. Let's go and try a different way. If you do that and that doesn't work, let's go, okay, let's do a different way until it works. That's what successful people do. Most people have a wrong thinking that successful people just had it easy. They just had it made for them. No, they failed exactly the same way how you have. The only difference is that they have kept on trying, kept on trying. I saw this poster where it said, a master has failed more times than a beginner even tried. So the master has failed more times than a beginner even tried. So it's important to embrace the failure, embrace the lessons, and just keep going. Okay, I like that question, Martha. What kind of reward can I give to those I seek help from? So again, you need to think, okay, so who is this person that I'm seeking help, right? Maybe you need to say to that person, hey, look, can I do some work with you, right? Can I work for you for free to get advice and mentorship from you? If that person is super successful, they achieved loads, etc., or whatever, ask them. Say, hey, I want your help. I know you're successful. I know I could learn from you. I know you could help me in this, that, and the other. What could I do in return so it would be worthwhile for you to do this thing? And you can just ask. That's the easiest way to do, and say, hey, what could I do to you so you could help me out? Make this work, because I need your help. I know you could help me with that. Perfect, 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 Amina. Exactly. And rejection is a something that people use quite loosely, but actually nobody has ever rejected you as a person. If you offer a business to somebody and they say, nah, sorry, it's not for me, it's not rejection. Sometimes we forget that the other person actually have choice. They don't have to say yes, they don't have to go for it, right? If you go to a restaurant and you have a meal at a restaurant, and at the end of the dinner, the waitress comes to you and says, hey, would you like a dessert? And you go, nah, I'm fine, I'm okay. Do you think the waitress goes to the back and cries because you refused her, because you rejected her? No, she doesn't care, right? Because it's her job to offer you the dessert. If you don't want the dessert, you say no, right? She doesn't take it personally. She doesn't cry over it. So why do you cry over it? Why do you worry when you offer somebody the business or your product and they say no? And you go, oh, they've rejected me. No, they're not. They just said no. They don't want it. It's their choice, right? They have a right to choose to do it or not do it, right? So it's not rejection. There's no such a thing as rejection. We just make it up in our head as an excuse not to talk to people. We go, oh, I don't want to talk to people because they're going to reject me, right? It's nonsense. It's just basically saying, imagine if you were working at a restaurant and you went to your manager and you said, oh, I'm going to stop offering people food, because they reject me. How long do you think you would keep your job as a waiter? They'd go, well, the door is there because your job is to offer the food to these people, right? So if you're not going to offer it, then you have no job, right? But in our business, sometimes people go, oh, I'm not going to speak to strangers, right? Because I'm afraid to be rejected. Well, that's your job. Your job is to offer stuff to people, right? Cool, cool, cool. I can see many people saying, hey, getting value. Awesome, 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 awesome. Yeah, but it is like that. But sometimes we just confuse ourselves, thinking it's something else, thinking it's something bigger than it is. Great, great, great. It's so nice to see so many of you, even with all the problems and all the glitches, still stayed online, still stayed to the very end of it. I'm really proud of you guys. I really, really appreciate you. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, guys, so I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to finish our webinar here. Really, really thank you very much for attending today, spending your time to grow yourself, to invest in yourself, and hopefully setting these goals. This whole process will help you to really, really succeed, to really, really achieve in 2017 and do make it your best year ever. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, guys, and I will see you at the top.